Kerry are back into the All-Ireland semi-final after a 118-13 point win over Mayo here at Croke Park. Very comprehensive victory. David Clifford with the goal late in the first half, the 29th minute. And it was just kind of a move that summed up the difference between the two teams in today. Kevin McLaughlin had hit a needless ball into the Kerry area, which was easily cut out, straight back up to the other end, and Clifford got the ball. He delayed and then gave the ball to Stephen O'Brien. Stephen O'Brien drew a man to him, waited for the perfect moment and released Clifford. And once Clifford got in, just took one bounce and blasted the ball into the roof of the net. Side foot blast, actually. Only the likes of David Clifford could do that. And it was probably the one time that he got away from Oisin Mullen that half, because it was Paddy Durkin who was chasing him back. And Mullen gave a great performance on Clifford. But of course, Clifford, despite having a bit of an ankle knock, he was still excellent. But Mullen gave a brilliant performance. For Mayo, I mean, really the injury toll that they've had this year really did come home to roost here. Ryan O'Donoghue wasn't available, of course. Darren Cohen wasn't available, and most crucially, I suppose, of all, is Tommy Conroy has missed the entire season because of a cruciate. Killian O'Connor is back, but he's clearly not himself at all. His shooting today was very erratic. He did score one nice point from play and knocked over a free, but in general, I think he had 3 wides and 1 ball dropped short as well. But of course, shooting has been the problem for Mayo all year. Go back to the qualifier clash with Kildare when it threatened to push them out of the game altogether. Both their defenders who saved them that day. Again, their forwards here. Jordan Flynn, he was wearing number 10, but probably more out in the middle of the field. He got a couple. Conor Loftus got 1 point. Kevin McLaughlin got 1. Jack Carney got 1. But really, as did Killian O'Connor, but really and truly, as a forward threat, it just wasn't there. And then even from the defenders, normally Lee Keegan, Mullen, McLaughlin, Durkin, they'll come up and get a score or two and bail them out. But that didn't happen today. I mean, the shooting efficiency of Mayo throughout this game was horrendous. Overall, it was 13 scores out of 33 attempts, compared with Kerry's 19 of 28, which is really good scoring efficiency. And that has been the difference. And of course, 2 of the misses that Kerry had to go to Hawkeye, so it just tells you how close they were. Even, could have been better than even 19 out of 28. But Mayo just, so dreadful. 9 of 16 in the first half wasn't too bad. And, they weren't far behind coming into half time. Second half, 4 out of 17 scoring attempts they put away. 4 out of 17 compared to 11 of 15 in Kerry. And even if you're to go back to earlier in the day, Armagh and Galway, who went to extra time, and you can imagine how tired those players are at extra time. Overall, Armagh scored 21 of 35 attempts, 23 of 32 for Galway, and comparing that again to Mayo's total of 13 out of 33, it really just does show how poor their shooting is in terms of the scores they're working, where they're shooting from, the people they're getting on the ball, but also Ryan O'Donoghue and Tommy Conroy. They're just incredible losses to this team, and they didn't get much of a bounce off the bench either. James Carr did get a point, but really and truly not much of a bounce. Killian Spillane came on, got a point, but all the work had already been done by the forwards. David Clifford, as I said, he had a great battle with Oisin Mullen. You'd love to see that again, and you'd love to see it if Mayo had an attack, a stronger attack here as well. What sort of matchup these two teams could produce, because the last 20 minutes here, the game just completely died a death. There was a run at one stage. Jordan Flynn had made it 10 points to 1-8, so very little in it. Graham O'Sullivan came up and got a point. But then there was a run from Mayo. A shot dropped short. Ruan knocked over the rebound. Shot off the post from Durkin. Wide from Jordan Flynn. Wide from Matty Ruan. Carr got a point, but then there was another 6 misses in a row from Mayo. So it just sucked any life out of their challenge in this game. Paul Ganey, really good performance here. He scored 3 from play and a mark also. David Clifford, as I said, got a goal. He got 2 mark points as well and knocked over a free. Sean O'Shea was very good. His jinking and his sidestepping and his fake shots. He did a bounce step inside a player and then did a fake shot and set up a point for Tom O'Sullivan. But he could have actually got a goal. That was in the 56th minute, made it 112 to 12 points. But Mayo just really, really struggling to create any issues for Kerry up front. Thomas Sullivan came up and kicked 3 points from corner back. Gavin White, he got a point on the same flank. Graham O'Sullivan, he also got a point. So that's all for the defenders. And David Moore, he also added in a couple of points. Very good display from the veteran player. And looking down, you see Lee Keegan embracing some members of the crowd, no doubt people he knows from Mayo. And will he be back again? Obviously one of the best players they've ever produced in Mayo, if not the best. But like Paddy Durkin and McLaughlin and Oisin Mullen, just not really getting on the front foot for this game. So that's Kerry into an All-Ireland semi-final, which is as far as they got last year when they were beaten after extra time by Tyrone. How will they get on the semi-final against Dublin? That performance at this level probably won't be good enough, but they were efficient with their shooting, and in the latter stages they completely cruised away. But I suppose it is understandable somewhat with those injuries that Mayo have been trying to carry. They did well to get past Kildare given the quality of that performance, and just ran out of road on this occasion here. So full-time score at Croke Park: Kerry 118, Mayo 13 points.